Welcome back, all. So today we have a very instructive game, and essentially this one is quite unique because what happens is early on blue goes down, and then about two moves later green goes down, and essentially what you're just seeing here is me versus yellow. So really more of a one-on-one game, pretty instructive all around for how to play, either towards the end or when the two players immediately adjacent to you cap out early. So without further ado, let's begin. So I have the red pieces. I'm fianchettoing. This is the classic opening. And now green playing this move right here. Blunting that diagonal. Very strong sign for me. Because, well, I mean, now green is never going to push this pawn, as this will just become weak. So this is a signifier to me that it is good to castle on this side, especially due to the fact that green is to my right, which means that he has to wait 4 entire cycles before he can respond to me again. So it is always good to have either the red or the yellow pieces for this reason, because you'll be able to castle easier toward your right side. Fianchettoing, as you can see, everyone fianchettos these days. It's a classic Italian opening, and I play this move to defend of any potential threats along this diagonal. There's pressure. So as you can see here, I'm just developing my pieces. Blue, on the other hand, has the intention of going for the center, and green, you will see, does as well. And yellow is just moving the knight around, not really getting anything done, not really developing the rest of his pieces, sort of violating some of these primary opening principles, moving the same piece multiple times, pushing the pawns, weakening his king. But, I've played with this individual before, and as you can tell from the conversation, he said he would post this game online. And he actually aids in checkmating blue, as you will see. So I play pawn up now, just being very defensive, having coordination between my pieces. It's always a good idea. Blue queening, looking for a queen, and now yellow is bringing this bishop out finally. Yeah, when you play this move, you want to play this move immediately after, because otherwise, what's the point? You're just creating a weakness for yourself, and you're not declaring intent. So it is not so wise in my eyes to fiddle with the knights, but as you can see, it works out for him. And now green is pushing as well, competing for the center. And now I see that this move is safe to play. I'm typically hesitant to push these pawns around my king, around my center, because you never know when, say, green might create a bishop-queen battery and then have a lot of pressure on this knight. And if he ever plays his knight up here, has this bishop here, then he moves the knight here, and this pawn is not here to defend, I'm in trouble. So it looks safe, and this bishop is also not on this diagonal. So that is good for me, because I don't really want to offer up any trades at this point in time. So blue playing here, that's not bad. It's not good, but it's, I have to be careful maybe. Now yellow finally developing, maybe wanted to castle his king, or use that knight for something else, as we'll see. So now I play queen up, threatening to discover check on blue. And now green has to be careful of anything going on over here with this king maybe. And if he brings his bishop back, then I can exchange and win a bishop. So that is an exchange I'm willing to do. And now Here comes yellow, eyeing this square here for check, and blue does not respond so well. He just queened here, and you have to be careful. You're underdeveloped. Bringing the queen back is often your best play. But now that green promotes, green is eyeing down this king as well on this file, this 8 file. So now he is completely lost in my eyes if he does not defend. Me, I'm just getting ready to take advantage of these opportunities. And he actually comes in now at defending, but it's not good enough of a defense because yellow checks, and now green mates. That is mate to green. So tell me now, what are you to make of this? What are you to make of this position? Green with 20 points just claimed the checkmate from yellow, who allowed it. Yes, the square was defended, but yellow, in my eyes, gave green a mate. Unbelievable. And just complete chaos. Complete chaos. So now I'm pushing the pawns, and yellow is going back. And green here runs out of time. Green here resigns. He runs out of time completely from 1 minute. Wow. It's amazing. It's completely amazing that maybe, he got kicked off of line or had some connection issues or what have you. But this allows me to now checkmate green and take those 20 points. Yellow now. Me versus yellow. This is really where I feel that the instructive element of this game circumscribes itself. Take the king. Nice. Take the king. Nice 20 points. Okay. So now just coming back, centralizing my queen, getting ready to, be aggressive towards yellow and attack this knight as well. Pawn up. A logical move. Defending. Now me, I'm pushing the pawns as well. Now he's getting his pieces involved, pushing them towards the center, getting them in the game. I continue to push. Now he pushes here with an idea of here, and that's a really intelligent move, honestly, because you have to be careful since his promoting square is variable. He can choose to push one, promote, being protected by a decayed queen, or he can choose to take that queen. Say if I defend this square with my bishop, as you'll see happens and move too late, he can come in here and just queen here, and that becomes a problem for me. So I should have been more prepared. Pawn up, stopping. That's a good move. And now this knight is defended by this other knight, so a queen here is not so great. But I increase the pressure and develop a piece. Sound principles. He does the same. He defends while developing a piece. Now I put some more pressure on, getting my bishop to a more active square. It was being blocked in by the knight. Now it's attacking over here. And my knight is hanging, so I do have to watch out. But it is not easily attacked. He does the same thing. He moves his bishop to a more active square. Now I'm starting to push this pawn, and as you'll see, he starts to push this one. So this is not so good for me now, because here maybe I could have played bishop back, defending. But then he pushes, and do I take that? It's a tough thing to say. It's unclear. So I push, he pushes, I push, he pushes, and now I move too late, I bring the bishop back. He queens on that square I was, hesitant about, and now, as you'll see, my knight and my pawn are hanging, and there's no way to defend both. But I choose to move the knight here, and luckily, yellow doesn't see this and moves his rook, possibly thinking about defending this pawn, maybe bringing the rooks to attack. But if he was thinking that, why didn't he see this? I'm not sure. So maybe just putting it across to my queen. I don't know. Giving up the opportunity to castle over here. It's not clear. So now I take the opportunity to defend this pawn. I push it up 1 because I have potential ideas of taking and then taking over here, and then promoting over here in this territory of blue. So that would be something to look out for. But his queen and his rook are putting pressure right now, so I need to diffuse that. And now he topples here. I'm not sure why. This gives me opportunity to centralize my queen, attacking this, getting it a little bit closer to my pieces. And now I threaten mate after threatening this. So he's having to respond to my moves. He's having to defend. This is good. You want your opponent to be reactionary. You don't want to be reacting to your opponent. He defends by playing pawn up. This is good. He's staying solid. I attack his rook. If this queen ever moves, it'll fall. And this queen doesn't have so many good squares. He defends by bringing a knight in. And now there's some unique ideas here. Pushing the pawn, attacking the queen. This pin here, this pressure, he's blocking this pawn, but I think this is actually better for me. I bring the queen back, he connects his knights. I connect my knights, blocking this, whatever, this pressure. I'm not sure what this will do because this is defended with a pawn. And I'm also defending this pawn and getting this file open for my other rook. So place queen here. Possibly wanting to bring the bishop, possibly the other queen as well, and putting pressure. So I respond by bringing my knight up, attacking this pawn, attacking this rook, just getting to a more active square for this knight. Lovely in the center of the board, absolutely lovely. He moves the rook. I move the queen, defending this pawn over here, defending this pawn over here, and now he threatens that. So I bring the bishop back. And he takes, surprisingly, and I, of course, take that. I think about taking here with the bishop. But let's say I take with the bishop. Then this knight is hanging as well. So here we got two knights, still have his queen. And I would get the light square bishop. That's not favorable in either numbers or it's just bad. So I have to take that queen. He attacks my pawn. And now I push. Queening, he has to take this. He pushes, I take, and have this queen. Takes, brings the rook. I bring my rook. Now this square is defended by the bishop and the knight, so I can't immediately win the exchange. But these knights here, as you can tell, they're going to be coming under a lot of fire. So the knights in the center are good, but if there aren't pawns to back them up, then maybe it's a vulnerability, which I'm able to exploit, as you'll see. He brings queen in the game finally, and I put pressure. And he puts pressure on my queen now, but now you see these knights are both under fire by both my rooks now, and both of these bishops, and now the queen is just being a coordinating piece. And as you'll see, queens become vital in this game, and I know how to use them, so we will elucidate that, and yellow will fall by getting a little too greedy, as you will see. I'm pushing now to just put pressure, and he's now defending, getting coordination. But this position is very shaky for yellow. He is under a lot of pressure. Bring the bishop back. I don't want any ideas. This bishop is hanging, and I want to also put some defense on this pawn. So it's good for me. Now he attacks, also getting this little nice defense. I move the queen, attacking, putting pressure. And remember, he can only cast the queen side here, so any pressure along these files is good for me. My king is defending. And castle he does. Now I play a critical move of the game in my eyes. Bishop takes knight. Giving up this powerful dark square bishop in the fianchetto for two knights, which were very annoying for promoting me, this pawn, and just were basically a stronghold for him, defending, being coordinators of that defense, which is now crumbling. So after takes, there's pressure along this file now, and he chooses to attack my queen. Now his bishop is pinned, so I always have ideas of pawn push queen, because if he takes my queen, I'll take his queen, his real queen, to my expendable queen, and I still have my real queen. And if he doesn't take, then I have the option to promote here, queening for free, or taking that bishop off the board. with either rook takes, pawn takes, and then queen takes if this queen is ever to move. So he's attacking here. I move the queen, putting pressure on this pawn here. It's undefended, and also guarding this file as well for queening. He moves now queen here, threatening to take the bishop off the board because this pawn is pinned as well because I've given up this dark square bishop defending over here. But I ignore that, and I queen because if he takes and I take, and then he takes, I have a tremendous amount of pressure against this king, and it's pretty unclear as to what would happen. But as you see, he does take, and now I take the bishop. He allows me to keep the queen. Amazing. And now I'm just neutralizing these pawns, but first trading off all of the material with check, with momentum. And now he has his check as well, but once this position happens, is reached, he chose the material, this queen, over the defense of his own king. And I have 2 queens for this attack. And as you'll see, this knight is hanging, but he can't check me. He can't really gain any momentum with getting anywhere. So what is he to do? And I take here. Now threatening a number of checks, a number of potential situations that have the probability of leading to mate. So what does he do? He just defends. What he's been doing the entire game, defending. And you never want that. Now here, rook here would be allowing this check. So he moves, I check. He moves, I check. Moves, I don't check here, but I threaten mate. I'm threatening mate right here with this queen. And as you'll see, the agility of these queens being displayed, and the nonchalantness of this awkward position is stifling. Yellow has done nothing to improve his position the entire latter half of the game. He's just been defending, and he got so tired of defending, he just wanted to take some hits at me over here. And he's doing so at the expense of his own king by not being patient. By moving the queen far away from the king, he allowed my 2 queens to absolutely desecrate his position, as you can see, exploiting these dark squared weaknesses with ease. So he plays rook here in a last ditch resort, maybe coming down potentially, but the queens are absolutely too powerful. And now I move here, threatening mate again over here, and he cannot defend that, so he resigns. And then he says, you know, are you a subscriber? I tell him my mentor in this game, and he tells me he'll upload this and that he'll give me his link, but he does not do that. And then as you'll see, I tell him that I'm an editor myself and that maybe I should upload this game. So I do just that. And I hope you enjoyed.